My friends think you're a joke, and honestly, they're not wrong, she said before a girls' trip. So I moved out while she was gone. She came home to empty rooms and a note that said, "Hope they think this is funny too." I never thought I'd be the kind of guy who snapped, "Not like this." Not quietly packing my life into cardboard boxes while the woman I thought I'd marry clink margaritas with her friends somewhere in Arizona. But here we are. My name's Daniel. And the entire time I'm writing this, there's a stupid part of me that still can't figure out how the hell we got here. Because when I met Samantha, things weren't like this. She wasn't like this. Or maybe she was, and I just wasn't paying attention, because when someone beautiful finally looks your way after years of feeling invisible, you get a little dizzy with the attention, and you try so hard to hold on to it that you ignore the cracks. I met her at this 4th of July barbecue that my buddy Chris dragged me to because he said I needed to touch grass and talk to humans. She stood out immediately, not because she was loud or dramatic, but because she had this spotlight effect aura where everyone subconsciously arranged themselves to give her space, like the world tilted slightly in her direction. She laughed big, leaned in close when she talked, tilted her head when she listened, like she was cataloging every detail. She made people feel selected, chosen. When she chose me, I mistook that for compatibility. She told me she liked that I was calm, steady, grounded. She liked that I didn't need attention. She liked that I wasn't trying to be the center of anything. She said she felt safe with me. I didn't realize until much later that safe, to her, meant someone I can control without them noticing until it's too late. The first few months were amazing, the kind of flawless honeymoon phase they warn you about in therapy podcasts. She cooked for me, sent good morning texts, posted pictures of us that made it seem like we were the kind of couple that people root for. But subtle things started happening. Little corrections, little comments. "Do you really want to wear that shirt? You always order that? Really, my friends are kind of intense, so just be confident tonight, okay?" It sounds small when you listen like that, but it's like erosion. You don't notice what's being chipped away until you realize you're shorter than you used to be. The first time I met her friends, they sized me up in under 10 seconds. Kelsey and Brianna were the worst. They whispered, they exchanged glances, they asked questions that weren't really questions, more like traps waiting for a wrong answer. "So, what do you do again?" "Oh, that's nice. You must have a hobby, right?" "No." "Really?" I tried to shrug it off because you're supposed to get along with your partner's friends, right? And sometimes friends are protective, but protective isn't the same as predatory. And these women circled me like they were waiting for me to show weakness, so they could lunge. Samantha laughed with them, sometimes at me, and every time she saw me flinch, she'd squeeze my hand under the table like I was overreacting. I should have walked away then. But love makes you stupid, or at least hopeful. You keep saying it'll get better, when nothing changes. A year in, things got worse. Samantha started using my insecurities as punchlines, not in a playful teasing way, in a testing how far she could push the knife way. She'd talk over me, correct my stories, cut me off to tell a more interesting version that made me look clueless. And her friends followed her lead like ducks in formation. Once, during game night, Brianna asked, "Sam, girl, how do you date someone who literally disappears in a group? He's like furniture." Everyone laughed, even Samantha, especially Samantha. When we got home, I asked her why she let them talk to me like that. She rolled her eyes. "They're just kidding, Dan. You're so sensitive." Sensitive. That was the beginning of the end. Because every boundary I tried to set got dismissed as sensitivity. Every hurt I expressed got thrown back at me as weakness. Every time I tried to defend myself, she acted like I was attacking her. Then things escalated in this subtle, poisonous way. She criticized my job, I'm a systems technician, because it wasn't impressive enough for her friend group. She'd sigh when I made decisions because she wanted someone more assertive. She'd compare me to her co-workers' boyfriends, all of whom were apparently more confident, more stylish, more successful. I tried to rise to the occasion. I really did. I picked up extra shifts, bought nicer clothes, started reading those self-help books about confidence and communication. But none of it mattered because the goalposts kept moving, and I got tired of always kicking the ball into a field that kept stretching. 2 years in, I was shrinking by the day. But I still held on because she'd occasionally throw me a bone, a sweet weekend together, a long hug, a rare moment of vulnerability, and I'd think, see? She cares. You're overthinking. Then came the night everything snapped clean in half. She was packing for a girls' trip, one of those obnoxious ones where they scream, "Hot girl weekend," into the camera while dancing in a hotel room. I was helping her fold clothes, trying to enjoy the little moments, trying to feel useful. I asked if she wanted me to drive her to the airport in the morning. She didn't answer right away. She was reading a text from Kelsey. She smiled, typed something back, then casually said the words that detonated something in my chest. My friends think you're a joke, and honestly, they're not wrong. It didn't sound cruel. It sounded matter-of-fact, like she genuinely couldn't fathom why I'd be hurt. I said her name once, quietly, like maybe if I said it soft enough she'd rewind, realize what she'd done, apologize. She didn't. She shrugged. What? They're not used to guys like you. Don't make a thing. I knew right then it wasn't going to get better. I knew she didn't respect me, didn't value me, didn't see me as a partner but as an accessory she could mock for social points. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. She left early the next morning. Kissed me on the cheek like I was a brother or a neighbor feeding her cat. Promised to call. Didn't. The moment the door closed, something in me unclenched, and then something else broke. I walked around our apartment, the apartment I cleaned, fixed, paid half the bills for, and realized there wasn't a single piece of it that felt like mine anymore. Not even the space I occupied. So I started packing. Not frantically, not angrily, just with this eerie, calm clarity. I boxed my clothes, my tools, my documents. I took my childhood baseball glove, the one thing that still made me feel like someone worth rooting for. I left the coffee maker she loved, the bar cart she bragged about, the expensive mirror she bought for aesthetic reasons. I didn't want anything that reminded me of the version of myself she created, the smaller version, the quieter version, the version that walked on eggshells trying not to upset someone who was always upset anyway. I left a note. Nothing dramatic. Nothing cruel. Just a sentence that mirrored her own cruelty back at her. Hope they think this is funny too. Then I walked out the door and didn't look back. She must have gotten home around 6 p.m. I know, because at 6:17 the first call came in. Then another. Then another. Then the text. Is this a joke? Where are you? Dan, answer me right now. Are you seriously doing this? You're being dramatic. Stop ignoring me. This isn't funny. Is this because of what I said? Don't be ridiculous. Talk to me. Then the voice messages, frantic, angry, tearful. She cycled through emotions like a radio scanning stations. First disbelief, then irritation, then panic, then rage, then begging, then blaming. Not once did she say, "I'm sorry." Not once did she acknowledge how she treated me. Not once did she say she understood. The closest she got was, "If you wanted me to be more affectionate, you should have told me instead of pulling this stunt." Pulling this stunt. Leaving wasn't a reaction. It was a release. 2 days later, she showed up at my new place. She pounded on my door, mascara streaked, hair pulled back like she hadn't slept. She said everything she thought would yank me back, that I misunderstood her, that she didn't mean it, that her friends exaggerated things, that she loved me, that she needed me. I could see she expected me to fold. I always folded before, but I didn't this time. I told her I wasn't coming back, that I deserved someone who didn't treat me like an inconvenience, that I finally believed I was worth more than being the punchline to someone else's insecurity. She said I was ruining something good. I said it wasn't good. She said I'd regret it. I said I hoped I didn't. She said I was heartless. I said for once I was being honest. Then I closed the door, and I let the silence hold. It's been 8 months now. She tried reaching out for a while. Long messages, short messages, rage messages, apology messages. I didn't respond to any of them. Eventually she stopped. I heard through friends that her circle was shocked. I actually left because they all thought I didn't have the backbone. Funny how wrong people can be. I'm in a better place now. Healing isn't linear. Some nights I still replay moments in my head, wondering how I let myself be treated that way for so long. Some nights I miss the version of her that she only pretended to be. Some mornings I wake up grateful that I saved myself when no one else would. I get to breathe in my own space now. I get to laugh without being mocked. I get to speak without being corrected. I get to exist without being measured. And sometimes I think back to the moment she said, "My friends think you're a joke," and I realized something. I wasn't a joke. The joke was believing that shrinking myself would make someone love me more. The joke was sacrificing my dignity for scraps of affection. The joke was thinking that disrespect wrapped in a pretty face was still love. The real punchline was walking away. And the best part? It wasn't funny to her at all.